Hello and good morning to you. It is I, Tony. It is New Comic Book Day. You already know where we're at. We are at Robot Zero Comics in beautiful, scenic downtown Geneva, Ohio. 23 West Main Street, Geneva, Ohio, to be more specific. Right on the northwest corner, northwest corner of routes 534 and 20, where they meet in the center of the downtown business district in Geneva, Ohio. Steve Soder, what's happening, my man? We've got Kalel over here, my co-host, and it's a big New Comic Book Day, one of the biggest we've had in a year, maybe even since the shutdown. Dave, what's happening, sir? How are you? Anyways, if you can, like our page, share our page, give us a shout out, whatever, what have you. Not much. Sean, what's happening? Thanks for tuning in. We got a lot of stuff to go over, so I'm going to jump into it. A lot of cool stuff this week. A lot of cool stuff. Some first appearances. If you haven't yet, definitely check out Key Collector. It's a really fun app. If you're into first appearances, collecting keys, all that kind of stuff, a lot of great information held there for just $20 a year. Now I'm doing a free ad for them. Or you could watch our show. We also have our own YouTube channel now. It's associated with the robotzeropulls@gmail.com email address. You can find us here. If you missed this video, instead of scrolling forever through our Facebook page to find a new video, you just head over to our YouTube channel and watch them there. You can also watch Gloria and Joanna's shift change videos as well. Patrick, what's happening, man? I'll see you in a little bit. We had Ghost Rider. So anyways, I'm just going to get into it. Let's go. Let's see here. So we have Black Widow 8. Admittedly, I have not been reading Black Widow 8, but we have held, no one's really dropped it since it started, especially with these great Adam Hughes covers. You have Black Widow on the cover. Looks like everyone's reaching for her, and she's just kicking butt as usual. And Kelly Thompson writes it. She has an excellent sense of humor. She's an excellent writer. And I did take that back. I have read the first few issues of this series, and it was good. I did enjoy it. It's just been so long. This is one that started during the shutdown, and it was supposed to start pre-shutdown, and then, there was the shutdown of Diamond and all that good stuff. So it kind of got off to a rocky start. But from what I remember reading, I did enjoy the first few issues. It was a lot of fun to read. Here we have Carnage Forever. I don't know if I have any of the A covers left. I might be able to find you one in the back. But we have a great Mark Bagley cover there for Carnage Forever. It's a one-shot. We get 2 stories, one main story and then one short story. We have Homecoming by Philip Kennedy Johnson. And then we have the second story, I believe. The first story is super gory and messed up. The second story is a legit prelude to the new series. And it was pretty good. I'm not going to give too much spoiler details because I know you guys want to read the stories, know what's up, but you won't be disappointed. Carnage is just as insane as he was before. And at least in this one, we may have someone that has, it's Cletus's consciousness is in the symbiote, is in the hive, is in the Carnage symbiote itself, but it's taking over a new host. So we'll have a new host of Carnage, but Cletus's mind is still there. Like I said, still is talking to the person in the suit, along with the Clintar symbiote. So, really cool story. Prelude to the new #1 that's coming out soon. Get your pre-orders in with us. We're getting all the covers. We'll have a lot of cool stuff. No exclusive covers, but we will have every cover solicited by Marvel, plus some of the higher ratio variants. So, if you want to jump on Carnage Forever, let us know. We'll get you signed up for it. Not Carnage Forever, I apologize. The new Carnage series. If you'd like an issue of Carnage, just let me know. We restocked on The Devil's Reign #4. We sold out. And this Luke Cage cover is what the kids call fire. That Luke Cage cover was one of the best ones. The main cover was pretty cool. They always are. But this one just popped with that yellow. And speaking of pop, we've got Elektra, Black, White, and Blood #2 in a mini-series of anthology. So each issue has 3 short stories written and drawn by some of Marvel's top talent. And we have another Adam Hughes cover, a negative space cover. So these are getting to be very, very popular right now in the collecting community, very negative space covers. kind of brought on upon John Tyler Christopher, who does a lot of the action figure variants. He does a lot of negative space variants. And we have negative space variant being this whole cover is red, and then they just kind of draw in the other details. I think they work really well. And Adam Hughes, I mean, come on. He's a terrific artist and has executed this cover really, really well. And if you like Elektra, Daredevil, don't miss out. These are great stories featuring the one and only Elektra. Then we have one of our bigger releases that we've done in a while. We've got Ghost Rider #1, and like Carnage, we've got all the covers to Ghost Rider #1 that Marvel solicited, including this really cool wraparound cover featuring all the Ghost Riders throughout the years, including Cosmic Ghost Rider, Johnny Blaze, you name it, it is represented on this cover. That's a really cool one. I think that's by Ryan Stegman, too. Let's see what else we got here. We've got the Scotty Young, which has been a pretty popular one with our crowd so far. Or if you want a whole set, just let me know. I don't mind, if you want any Ghost Riders, let me know in the comments. We'll save it for you. If you want a set of them, let me know. I've got this cool Todd Knock headshot variant, which in my photos in the group was in black and white. It wasn't the final art yet. Here we have the final art. I'm not sure of the artist on this one, guys. Excuse me, but I'm not sure who the artist was. And there's not even a signature on the cover. But nonetheless, a cool Ghost Rider cover. And the story was pretty good, too. So Johnny Blaze is seeing a psychiatrist. He cannot get the monsters out of his head. This is the X-Gwen cover. We've got the Peach Momoko cover. And then we've got a cool one of him peering through some blinds, looking out into the neighborhood. But as the story goes, Johnny Blaze is being haunted by monsters. He suffered a terrible motorcycle accident. They had to operate on his brain. He had a hematoma. He had all these terrible brain injuries. And as a result of that, he is seeing demons and monsters everywhere. His own children look like it. And the only thing he can do is drink to kind of numb his mind from working, and as he said, kind of helps him enter the darkness. He can't see anything, nothing can bother him, nothing can get in or out, but he really feels like something is trying to get in or out of his mind. He has these terrible headaches. So we're introduced to two new characters in this book, Zeb the Dark Magician, who is seemingly very powerful, and then we have Talia Warroad, who is formerly of S.H.I.E.L.D., a paranormal investigator, now working for the FBI with the same title. And she is demanding that she be let loose out on the road. She wants she wants $500,000 for all the equipment, per diem, whatever she needs out on the road while she investigates the paranormal. So I think we're going to see a run in here with Johnny Blaze and Talia Warroad, if Johnny Blaze isn't already on her radar. There are some reveals in this book. I'm not going to spoil. The artwork was fantastic. Really enjoyed it. There are some terrible things that happen in this book. I don't know if it's me or if I'm reading more Marvel or if Marvel's getting a little bit more violent. But there was a lot of blood and guts, and I think that's cool for a Ghost Rider book. That's what you need. Here's Zeb, the Dark Magician. Convinces this kid he needs to beat his enemy senseless with a baseball bat. So I really enjoyed it. Written by Ben Percy. Ben's written for both the big two, DC and Marvel. I believe he's writing Wolverine right now. He's written some Nightwing in the past. Those are the things that come to mind here quickly. But again, first appearances, we got tons of covers. Lots of fun to read. Definitely a fun comic book. Definitely check it out. If you're at all a fan of Johnny Blaze is back, Ghost Rider. We've got Hulk #2, second prints, I believe. Was that second print? Yeah, it's a second print. We've got a lot of second prints this week. This book is completely insane, and I highly suggest reading it if you get a chance. Written by Donny Cates, art by Ryan Otley right now. And again, one of those books where we're seeing a little bit more of the adult stuff come through in terms of violence and blood. Good book, really enjoyed it. Ms. Marvel #3. Really enjoyed the first issue. I have not caught back up. I do have the other two in my stack right now. She's going to be on TV here very, very soon. The first issue ended. Spoiler alert. Well, I'm not gonna give any spoilers. Got to check out number one. Had a cool. Anyways, there's a cool appearance of a character at the end of the first book. Kind of disappointed because I've heard he has not shown back up in any of the subsequent books yet, which is kind of disappointing. They kind of teased us, but definitely worth checking out. One of my favorite characters in Marvel is Ms. Marvel, and over at DC's Superman. I think they share a lot of the same qualities. Really enjoy them. We've got Phoenix Song Echo. I believe this ends the miniseries. We have Shang-Chi number 9 this week, which has been a really fun read so far. If you haven't checked out Shang-Chi, I highly suggest doing it. You could pick it up at issue 7. It's a great jumping on point, and you'd be very, very happy. We have those in stock, I believe, as well. Silk, another miniseries for Silk. Really cool. In the first issue, we had a cameo appearance of a new villain. That villain makes a little bit more of an appearance in this one. I don't know if you consider it a second cameo, but I believe we get some dialogue out of the new villain. Spoiler alert, if you don't want to hear this, plug your ears. I'm not going to give a name to the villain, but I am going to let you know what the villain is. She's a Korean witch who's come to life from a museum exhibit on Korean history. So we learned that in this book. We learn a little bit more about the villain's backstory, given its exhibit at the museum that she's investigating. Silk, Cindy Moon is working for J. Jonah Jameson, Threats and Menaces, so we have that Spider-Man vibe. I want pictures of Silk, or I want pictures of this witch. Come on. Come on, Cindy Moon, produce. Cindy's not really feeling it. She's kind of lost in life a little bit. Between her superhero life and her personal life, she's a little down. I think I've had fun reading it, and what I've also had fun reading, these two books right here, Silk and Silver Surfer Rebirth, just remind me of what fun comic books can be, especially Silver Surfer Rebirth. If you have someone young in your family that is interested at all in Marvel characters and watches the cartoons, and you want to read something along with them, Silk is excellent, and Silver Surfer is an excellent introduction to maybe a little bit older young adult, some teens, early, 11, 12, 13, 14 years old. Silver Surfer Rebirth, I think, would be an excellent introduction to comics for a little bit more mature middle schooler and adults. I mean, if you grew up reading comics in the 80s and 80s probably, I'm going to guess more so, you're going to love Silver Surfer Rebirth. It was a lot of fun. Someone is messing with Silver Surfer's mind. Someone has control of the reality stone, and we don't know who yet. And it's taking Silver Surfer through all these different realities. And Thanos, at least I believe Thanos, I don't know if it's a reality stone thing, but Thanos is trying to team up with Silver Surfer as friendly, not as adversaries, to take on this person that has the reality stone. Pretty cool stuff. Really enjoyed it. The Amazing Spider-Man continues and will soon end. At first, they said they were going to get to issue 100. Now it's going to end somewhere in the 90s, I believe. News constantly changing at Marvel. Release dates constantly changing. So either way, Zeb Wells is writing it, as well as is he writing this miniseries too? Zeb Wells will be writing that's J.D. Mateus. Sorry. Zeb Wells is writing The Amazing Spider-Man. He's going to continue The Amazing Spider-Man when it hits a new number 1 in April. So he's kind of laying some groundwork for us now. And hopefully that means we'll see the Queen Goblin will keep going. Whereas before we saw when Dan Slott, at the end of his run, created the Red Goblin, and the Red Goblin just kind of disappeared when Nick Spencer started his run. Hopefully we won't see that here with the Queen Goblin. We'll have the same writer and creator of the character taking on that new number 1, and has been the main writer of The Amazing Spider-Man here so far, and doing an excellent job, I may add. J.D. Mateus has been doing a great job with Ben Reilly's Spider-Man. We're getting the story of while Peter Parker and MJ were in Utah, we're getting the story of Ben Reilly and his time as Spider-Man. And right now, he's being attacked by villains he knows, but they are not they are not who they think he. To get these words out of my mouth, I swear. These villains aren't who he thinks they are. So gets attacked by the Scorpion. He believes it's Mac Gargan. It's not. Last issue, I forget the villain he was attacked by, but it wasn't really that person. His alter ego wasn't the original villain. So he's got someone out there now masquerading as different villains, messing with his mind. And Ben Reilly's kind of lost in the world right now. He's got these memories of Peter Parker, Uncle Ben, Aunt May, losing Uncle Ben. Peter Parker making all these friends. These memories are embedded in Ben Reilly's mind, and he's struggling letting them go because he knows that they're not his memories, but they are his memories, but they're not really. It's got to be a huge mind F to be a clone of Peter Parker. So I think it's cool. I think it's a pretty cool examination of the character of Ben Reilly. You get to see him fight a lot of cool villains. It's a fun book. Miniseries should be 5 issues. We've got Miles Morales, number 35. This week, Strange Academy, number 16. This is nearing its end, and we'll start with a new number 1 this summer. Highly suggest being on that train. Scotty Young is a killer. We've got second prints of Thor number 20, the first appearance of the God of Hammers. We've got Timeless, number 1, second print. This is the first appearance of the new Punisher logo on a cover. And before anyone starts, it's temporary. It's not a permanent change. It's for this current storyline. So there you have it. We've got Venom number 3, I believe, second print, and Venom number 2, second print. Both excellent covers. I really like this one a little bit more. This second print of number 2. We had to get second prints of number 2. Most of our number 2s were destroyed in a UPS shipping incident. But if you're not reading Venom, I highly suggest hopping on. Al Ewing, who wrote Immortal Hulk, is writing Venom right now. We've got X Deaths of Wolverine, number 3, I believe. Yeah, number 3. We've got this cool trading card cover of James Howlett in, looks like, World War I. You can see there no adamantium yet. And then we have, Leon Hyuk, I'm assuming he's covered in adamantium. I'm not sure which Wolverine this is. If you know which Wolverine this is or what part of his life this took place in, shout it out in the comments. Let us know. We've got Aquaman number 1. We have Aquaman stepping down, wanting to spend more time with his family and passing the reins over to Aqualad. Aquaman will still be Aquaman. Don't get me wrong. We have a cool variant cover there on the right. Who is that? Is that Cale New? I think that's Cale New's. Yeah, that's Cale New artwork. That's his signature right there. Great artist. If you don't know Cale New, look his stuff up. Excellent artist. And speaking of excellent art, we've got Detective Comics 1054. This is going to be a long video. Hopefully I'll be done before we open. Patrick, if you're out there, come on in. Detective Comics 1054, still part of the weekly story going on right now, 12th part known as The Tower. We've got a backup story, too, that's continuing on through that time. Lee Bermejo cover, great Batman and Robin cover. That's some really great stuff there. We've got Batman and Bigby, number 6. This is the end of the miniseries. Batman versus Bigby, A Wolf in Gotham. Got a great, that's got to be Jenny Frison, Catwoman 40 variant cover. And speaking of variant covers that are fire, our man Derek Chu doing another great Harley Quinn cover. Adam, what's happening? Kyle, what's going on? MC Krawick, thanks for watching. Klaus, what's happening? Joe Zinski. Hey, Sean. All right, everybody. Just want to say hi. Kate, what's happening? Wow. Jeremy Fleck, what's up? And we're back up to Steve. All right, guys. Thanks for joining us. This is the most viewers we've had in quite some time. Thank you. Really cool Harley Quinn cover here. Then we have the Human Target, number 5. If you enjoyed Tom King whatsoever, this is his 12-part series. It's got Blue Beetle in it. Human Target is an older, like James Bond type of character. I think is a shapeshifter. Either way, fun miniseries by Tom King. Should not miss out on it. We've got Joe Hill's Refrigerator Full of Heads, number 4. What's up, Patrick? We got Task Force Z, number 5, the Francesco Mattina cover. Got a cool variant cover for Teen Titans Academy 12. We've got Wonder Woman Evolution number 4 of 8. Barbarella number 7. Belle, Queen of Serpents one-shot. I believe this is a one-shot. We've got a couple different covers there. Belle, if you don't know, is a really cool, I think is a cool take on Beauty and the Beast. She is a monster killer. And hunts monsters, kills them, or beasts, so to speak. We have Bolero, which I've been wanting to read, and I didn't get a chance. Super mature, sexually explicit book. Don't let kids pick this one up at all. But tells a very touching love story. And you have a woman who's trying to find love, having trouble finding love, and is introduced to a gentleman one evening who shows her this, like, I forget the name of the door, but it's like an infinity door. It's a door to the multiverse, and she can create a key that is unique to herself. She cannot give this key to someone else. She'll be in great danger and, could ruin all the timelines, and, the universe could fold in on itself and create some terrible paradox. So you can't trade keys, you can't use someone else's key, and you can only jump into, they call them hops, 35 different lives. So she's trying to find the life that she's most happy with, and it's always a different mixture of the same people in her life. Who she falls in love with or who she ends up with is different each time, and she's very gender fluid as well. Each reality, she's a different gender, anyways, yeah, it gets, there's a lot of ins and a lot of outs and a lot of what have yous, as my friend from The Big Lebowski would say. But I enjoyed every minute of it. The artwork is fantastic. I would leaf through the book, but there's some very mature scenes. So again, I don't want to show it, but this cat spacesuit is awesome. And this cover is very nice. You see the cat spacesuit there as well. We've got Berserker number 7 from Keanu Reeves and Matt Kint. Ron Garney on artwork. There's some great artwork, too, in this book. Super violent one, too. But great art. Keanu Reeves. This should be an anime series on Netflix here soon, I believe. Cover of Darkness 2, which involves shape-shifting monsters, gypsies, mummies, vampires, werewolves, all kinds of great monsters, classic monsters fighting one another. We've got Department of Truth, number 16, variant cover. Distorted number 1 from Scout Comics. This was a fun story. They're living in a time, or it seems like it's present time. Superheroes are a real thing. There's a superhero radio station where all they do is, it's 24/7 talk about supers and metahumans. You have a young man at home who's hiding his powers from his family and is not sure what to do and who he is. He's kind of struggling with that. He's talking to his friend, and there's someone within the government that they're tasking with following some superheroes or people with superhero powers that could be very dangerous to the rest of the world. And there are a lot of cases where in third world countries where a mother or father was being attacked, and a young child with all that emotion of seeing their parents attacked unleashes some terrible power that they didn't know they had stored within them, and could not only hurt the people that are trying to hurt him, but could also hurt innocent people. So this person's going around investigating through the government. I believe they're super as well. But anyways, very fun story, mystery, should be pretty cool from Scout Comics. We've got Gods of Brutality number 4. This is the first chapter is over, and this was all done by Mark Wells. Well, not all, but Rich Woodall and Mark Welser. Mark Welser is the artist and co-creator of Gods of Brutality and lives right in Erie, Pennsylvania, not too far away from us. Really super cool guy. Can't say enough nice things about Mark. Definitely check out any work he's involved in. And he's a huge Savage Dragon fan. Has also gotten to do a Savage Dragon story of his own. Heavy Metal Drummer from Behemoth. I ordered more of this after I read it last night. This is an amazing book with great artwork and a crazy story of a heavy metal drummer doing drugs. Almost like a They Live type of story too, where aliens are like hiding undercover amongst human beings. And it's definitely psychedelic, color-wise, idea-wise, and it was a lot of fun to read. Definitely check out Heavy Metal Drummer. I got one extra copy here to check out with more on the way. Different form factor, too. If you can see, it's a little bit smaller. We've got House of Slaughter, number 5, from Boom Comics and James Tynion. Also, this is a prequel to Something is Killing the Children. We have In His Own Image from another explicit book you don't want to have around kids, but dark future, dystopian future, almost like in RoboCop, in that it's hyper violent and people are living in excess, through technology and doing terrible things, and with it. But there are good things being done, or trying to end the bad people, almost like a really even darker Matrix type of movie. It was pretty cool. Or Cyberpunk. Cool book. We've got The Killer, Affairs of the State from Boom. If you like stories that involve like hitmen, people that go out to assassinate others, this is a really cool book, I think, if you like those type of stories. A little bit of mystery, thriller. You have this gentleman on the cover who is an assassin working among us in a regular corporate job, but he has an alternate life where he's being hired by the government to go out, or government or whoever will hire him to go out and murder those that might be in their way. Pretty cool stuff. If you like that, it's very in depth. There's a lot to read. It was very much like not like a James Bond movie. It'll come to me, but if you like that type of genre, you'll love this book. It was pretty good. Power Rangers Universe number 3, Purgatory issue 5. We've got Quad number 2 came upon us really quickly. We're telling these stories from this dystopian future. The first one was about a mechanic fixing things out in this wasteland. This story is about a robot that lives within this dome city where it has the last vestige of what the world was like before it ended, before these solar storms came in and ripped everything up. And you have this robot who is an investigator, like a private eye almost, working for those inside this bubble, this dome. And he's there to solve mysteries. And there's a worry of basically having I think he called it ghostware installed in the robots, where it's like a virus can overtake the robot, and he may not even know if it's installed on him. He's not sure. But they definitely stick to Asimov's laws of robots in this book, and you get to see them kind of play out. It was pretty cool. Red Sonja number 6. We've got second prints of the last, I'm sorry, this isn't a second print. Number 1, I think, is a third. No, a 5th print on number 1. They both have really great covers. And then here on number 2, we've got, what is this, a print? This is the 4th print of number 2, both with new covers. We Ride Titans. This is another great follow-up. Second issue, we've got the first one in stock. Set in the future, giant mechs defend giant cities, technologically advanced cities. This has been going on for centuries. It would seem like thousands of years. Kaiju have been attacking cities, and it's completely normal now that every big city has a mech or a titan to defend that city. This story is about a family that has piloted one mech in particular and protected one city in particular for centuries. You have a young lady who is a mechanic. She owns her own garage. Her brother is the current Titan pilot, and he is an alcoholic and nearly has a city destroyed, allows a kaiju to destroy a city. So he's forced to resign and step down as a pilot. And as much as his sister does not want to do it, she is called in. This book, we see some training being done, some really cool training, her having to fight monsters. And then at the very end, I don't want to reveal anything, she's faced with her first real test. And I think issue 3 is going to be pretty great. We've got Vampirella and Dracula Unholy, a love story, number 3, Step by Bloody Step. This book was great. I will say this first issue was silent, so you really have to study the artwork and the story being told throughout the panels. I'm going to have to go through this one again, but I did enjoy it quite a bit. It's by Simon Spurrier and Matthew Bergera is the artist. Simon Spurrier is the writer. Simon Spurrier is a great fantasy genre writer. He and Matty Bergera previously teamed up for Coda, which was a great 12-part miniseries, set in a fantasy environment. This isn't set in a fantasy environment. This is reminding me more, not, more primitive time, before any big industrial revolution happened. not, I can't think of the time period it would have been in exactly, but not a caveman time, a little bit more advanced than cavemen. Still people still living, more like a medieval time, I guess. But not exactly, if that makes sense. There's a lot of cool stuff revealed in here that I'm not going to be able to explain properly, and I don't want to spoil anything, but it's definitely something you should check out. It's got an Iron Giant vibe to it. If you like Iron Giant, definitely check this out. You have this small little boy or girl, I believe girl, and a giant robot taking care of her. Pretty cool stuff. I enjoyed it. Our name of our store is Robot Zero for a reason. We've got Star Wars: The High Republic Adventures number 13. That is the end of this series. We've got Gunslinger Spawn number, I believe, 5. We've got both covers here. We've got Sonic the Hedgehog number 48. We've got Saga number 56. And then some real quick, we've got House Cat Trouble by Mason Dickerson. We've got Batman the Imposter hardcover. And then we have Not All Robots by Mark Russell. This is a $9.99 trade. I highly suggest picking it up if you want to be entertained. If you're going to be shut in during the cold weather we're going to have this weekend, do not miss Not All Robots. One of the best. We got a really cool Toonie Bob Ross, The Joy of Painting. I think there's usually called Toonie Terrors, but this is obviously not a horror movie. They have different versions of them. We've got him in his classic blue shirt and afro and beard. We've got Deceased, Hope at World's End. If you don't know Tom Taylor, definitely read this Zombie DC Elseworlds book. Great stuff. We now have Raphael and Donatello in these PX exclusive cel-shaded pops. We've got Ghost Rider number 1 in 25. We've got a 1 per store House of Slaughter. We have 1 per store Power Rangers, 1 per store The Killer State of Affairs, 1 per store Berserker 7, and then a 1 in 25 Silk number 1, which we finally got, and a 1 in 15 Step by Bloody Step. We also have Blood Syndicate, not Blood Syndicate, I'm sorry, the DC Connect order catalog showed up. We should have Marvel next week. And all of our stuff from Marvel was distributed by Penguin Random House and packed by Dyson Vanderkloot. So Marvel Comics brought to Robot Zero by Penguin Random House employee Dyson Vanderkloot. I feel like I hit a name lottery with getting Dyson Vanderkloot of the Connecticut Vanderkloots. So wherever you are, visit your local comic book shop. Thank you for listening to me ramble on about all these new comics we got this week. I certainly appreciate it. Leo Diaz, what's up, buddy? Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Ben, I'll save you one. It was out there. Heavy Metal Drummer was really good, too. I can't suggest that one enough. But Bolero, I finally got to read. Really cool book. Anyways, wherever you are, visit your local comic book shop. It is the best place to be on a Wednesday. If you want to talk about anything pop culture, what movie you saw, whatever, comics, visit the local comic book shop. One of the best places to be on a Wednesday in the middle of the week. Everyone have a good day and visit your local comic book shop for the millionth time.